Hey, this is Caleb, and this is my YouTube channel, and this is my podcast, or as I want to call it, a alpha podcast. See, because it might actually suck, and this is going to be a test, so I'm going to upload it here on this channel, and possibly make a new, if I can find a new home to place this podcast in, I will do that. But until then, this is just the alpha version, so I'm just letting you know, and maybe later along the lines I can add some annotations that will let you skip the songs in it. And I actually forgot to record the first 5 minutes or so of the podcast, so that's why it kind of skips to a song. The next show will definitely be a lot better because it'll be more people, not just me. So I'm looking forward to that, and maybe I can upload some more podcasts here on my channel. But until then, just remember it's an alpha, and if you listen to the whole thing, thank you. And yeah, it'll definitely be a better show next time. So thank you for listening.
You receive up yonder is what you give to me today. I wonder. I took a right turning yesterday. I'll do my best to do the best I can to keep my feet from jumping from the ground, dear, to keep my heart from jumping through my mouth, dear, to keep the past and not the present, to try and learn when you teach me a lesson. I know that I don't want for anything. From misery to happiness today. Yeah, I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. Yeah. I'm on my way to what I want from this world, and years from now you'll make it to the next world, and everything that you receive of yonder is what you give to me the day I wonder. Wonder. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Little girl 14 flipping through a magazine, says she wants to look that way, but her hair isn't straight, her body isn't fake, and she's always felt overweight. Well, little girl 14, I wish that you could see the beauty is within your heart. And you were made with such care, your skin, your body, and your hair are perfect just the way they are. There can never be more beautiful you. got another plan, only once what you'll do instead. Well, little girl 21, you never thought this would come. You starve yourself to play the part. But I can promise you there's a man whose love is true, and he'll treat you like the jewel you are. There can never be a more beautiful you. Defy the lies, disguises, and hoops they make you jump through. You were made to fill a purpose that only you could do. So there can never be a more beautiful you. More beautiful you. So turn around, you're not too far to back away. Be who you are, to change your path, go another way. It's not too late, you can be saved. If you feel depressed with past regrets, the shameful nights hope to forget can disappear, they can all be washed away by the one who's strong, can right your wrongs, can rid your fears, dry all your tears, and change the way you look at this big world. He will take your dark, distorted view, and with his light he will show you truth. And again you see through the eyes of a little girl that there can never be a more beautiful you. Defy the lies, disguises, and hoops they make you jump through. 'Cause you were made to fill a purpose that only you could do. So there can never be a more beautiful you. No, there could never be a more beautiful you.
Well, that was More Beautiful You, if you couldn't tell. And now, on to the burning questions. Or the one burning question that I have for you, at least. Are video games art? Now, this can be argued, but let's see if I can settle that here today. Alright, video games have been around for a while. Not quite as long as television or paintings, but it's been a little over 3 decades of people smashing their controllers or smashing the screens because they get angry because they can't beat this thing. Yeah. Well, are they relevant enough to be called art? This is somewhat of a touchy topic because some people think that games are just a waste of molecules in the universe. Well, that's fine, but are games so stupid and unimportant that they don't matter at all? Well, as I said in my last show, video games are another medium to work with, such as film, paintings, sculptures, and even chalk. A medium is something through which a person conveys their ideas to other people through. There are a lot of artistic steps in order to make a game come to life. First, you have to have concept art. They draw out characters and how they will look, and even draw the backgrounds in which the games will take place in. This is just like how Hollywood operates on the movie. Excuse me, I'm sorry. As you see, this is level of professional and awkwardness is moving on. All right, so just like in Hollywood, they have to write out a storyboard, and then they have to make sculptures. Just like in Star Wars, where they had to make miniature fighter pilot, fighter planes. So things like that. They have to make the sculptures of the people or the things that appear in the game themselves. All right. Then someone actually has to sit down, animate, code, predict, and calculate, and also give life to the game to make it seem like a living world. So even if you still don't think that video games are art or not, just know that there are a lot of artsy type things that go into video games. And the usual process of a game takes around 4 years to actually complete, just like a movie does. Well, depending on the size of a game, if it's a little flash game, it might take a month or two. So there you go. Stick around, and your nerd vocab is up next after this next song by Bass Hunter called I Can Walk on Water.
save your breath, lying in wait. Caught inside this tidal wave. Your cover's blown, nowhere to go. Holding your fate. Loaded, I will walk alone. Fire your ghost, it's time to run. Blow me away. I will stay unless I may. After the fall, we'll shake it up. Show me the way. Only the strongest will survive. Lead me to heaven when we die. I am a shadow on the wall. I'll be the one to save us all. You wanted it back. Back, back, back. Only the strongest will survive. Lead me to heaven when we die. I am a shadow on the wall. I'll be the one to save us all. Save us
That was Blow Me Away by Breaking Benjamin. Not really a fan of Screamo, but there's not too much Screamo in it that I don't like the song, so ha. Alright. So, now it is time for your nerd vocab. Woohoo! This week, there's only one nerdy word, and it's a little brief. You know, couldn't really think of anything else, to be honest. Honesty. Okay. Well, what is a con? Well, a con is an abbreviation of the word convention. You might have heard of these already. You know, you might have heard it before. So especially if you've watched the Big Bang Theory at all, you might already know what a convention is. A convention is a time and a place for people to get together with one another and be social. That's just anything, really. It's kind of like the Super Bowl in a sense that thousands of different people sharing their own passion and their likes with people like them come together and they just share and talk about ideas and whatnot. But yes, of course, people dress up in costumes. Some cool, some others quite disturbing in many ways. And yeah. But pardon me. It's having fun that counts, really. So, I mean, as long as you're having fun, what does it really matter what you look like, I guess? There are a bunch of different kinds of cons. There's an anime con, there's sci-fi con, there's fantasy, you know, some all three mixed in together, and even video game conventions like E3, which really it's an expo, but whatever. So they come together to show off, at E3 they come together and show off all the latest games that they have and what they're working on. So it's just kind of like a demonstration. And it's very fun. I wish I could go, but I'm broke, so no time soon. All right, that was a short little nerd vocab, and next up I have a review on the game Bravely Default, which I've been playing and it is quite fun. You're listening to the Nerd Edification Hour with Caleb, that's me, and I'll be back after these songs.
You're listening to GC 90.7, WKGC FM and HD, Panama City. Radio for the rest of us.
Despite the lies that you're making, your love is mine for the taking.
to me. Oh, wow, I despise. 'Cause it means destruction of innocent lives. War means tears to thousands of mothers' eyes when their sons go off to fight and lose their lives. I said war. Good God, y'all.
What is it good for?
Absolutely. Get sad again.
War.
Oh, Lord.
What is it good for?
Absolutely. Listen to me.
War.
It ain't nothing but a heartbreak.
War.
Friend only to the undertaker. Oh, war is an enemy to all mankind. The thought of war blows my mind. War has caused unrest within the younger generation. Induction, then destruction. Who wants to die? Oh, war. Good God, y'all.
What is it good for?
Absolutely. Sad.
War.
Oh, yeah.
What is it good for?
Absolutely. Listen to me.
War.
It ain't nothing but a heartbreaker.
War.
It's got one friend, that's the undertaker. Oh, war has shattered many a young man's dreams. Made him disabled, bitter and mean. Life is much too short and precious. It's been fighting wars each day. War can't give life, it can only take it away. Oh, war. Good God, y'all.
What is it good for?
Absolutely. Say it again.
War.
Oh, Lord.
What is it good for?
Absolutely. Listen to me.
War.
It ain't nothing but a heartbreaker.
War.
Friend only to the undertaker. Woo! Peace, love, and understanding. Tell me, is there no place for them today? They say we must fight to keep our freedom, but Lord knows there's got to be a better way. Oh, war, God, y'all.
What is it good for?
You tell me. Say it.
War.
Good God, now.
What is it good for?
Stand up beside it. It ain't nothing but a heartbreak.
That was War by Edwin Starr. And yeah, I'm not really a big fan on War. It's kind of, oh hey, there's a war. What's new? All right. Anyways, now it is time for my judgment to be passed upon the game known as Bravely Default. It's a review-ish kind of thing. I don't know. I don't really like judging things, but I guess when you have to do a review, you have to judge it, don't you? Oh well. Bravely Default is a game on the Nintendo 3DS that takes place in a world that is falling apart. Literally. Within the first 5 minutes of the opening scene, the world's like falling apart. Fun. Alright, the player, that is you, leads a party of 4 characters with weird names, but, Tiz, Agnes, Adia, and Ringabel. It's probably the weirdest name, but he can't remember his real name, so. And the ladies gave him that name. We'll just go with that. Okay, anyways. You will lead them across a vast open world. This game is a turn-based RPG, and it is based off the old Japanese RPG games, which may bring a little nostalgia to older players who are used to playing with Final Fantasy. This game is also made by Square Enix, because this is their kind of genre. That's really all they do. They make RPGs, and they made Final Fantasy, and this is kind of like Final Fantasy. There's one difference, but we'll get to that in a second. Excuse me, I'm sorry. All right. The game kind of has a cutesy element, but it gets really hardcore at times. I mean, it's rated T, so not like there's not a lot of swearing, actually. It's kind of, I don't remember. Oh well. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. The difficulty is also a throwback to the old Japanese RPGs as well. Some parts are smooth sailing, and then others will just have you crying and going to grind in the open field with the enemies and trying to level up. It's just this is a game that will take a lot of time due to this. The only side missions you will find here are only to get jobs or different abilities that you can use in battles. Basically, I'm going to use a relative term. If you want to have like a paladin, you have to go do a side quest in order to fight a boss paladin that will give you the paladin job title. Then you can be a paladin. So, ta-da! There are a lot of funny moments, and even though there's some grinding that you have to do, you don't really need to do a whole lot of it. So maybe like 10 minutes of grinding will get you to level up. It just depends really on what you're fighting and who you're fighting and where and whatnot. If you're having trouble with an area though, you need to heal up, there's an option where you can adjust the encounter rates of enemies as you walk. There are random encounters, but you can turn it off, pretty much. And then you can just run back to town and revive your party, and then just go right back to where you last met your fate of doom. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Games really need to do that, especially with random encounter rates. It's always been really annoying. I'm like, oh, I gotta hurry back to town. I'm like 2 steps away, and oh, it's an enemy, and oh, I died. Game over. Oh, it really sucks. Anyway, that's enough of that. So you can drop the rate and heal at a town, right? Okay. The story is very interesting, deep, and it gets really intense at some points. It really does. The story. I'm probably continuing to play the game halfly due to the story because it's pretty good. Those Japanese, they know how to make some deep stuff, like oh, I'm a pro football player from another dimension and I'm also your father, and what? It gets, Square Enix is good about that stuff. They get really I'm not even going to start on talking about the Kingdom Hearts storyline, which is more like a story cluster in that I have no idea what's going on. All right, continuing on. The main mechanic of this game that makes it different from other RPGs is the Bravely Default system, where you can either default, where you defend and gain BP for one turn, or Brave, when you spend your BP to do multiple things in the same turn. So you can defend, and you can get a BP point, which are Brave points, and then the next turn you can attack twice, things like that. So it's pretty cool system. I like that. It makes for strategy, and you gotta really think about what your next move is. It gets the old brain working. So if you're a fan of the old RPGs, you might want to check it out. If you have never played an RPG before, you might want to try something a little easier. Something that isn't so hardcore and it's not as overwhelming. So it's pretty good. So in conclusion, Bravely Default is rated T for teen, and if it sounds fun to you, go play it. If you have a 3DS, that is, and if you really want to play it. And remember to play responsibly, because you gotta do your schoolwork, kids. That's right, you gotta do your schoolwork. I should know. Haha. All right, next up is the nerdy news, so stay tuned for that. And the next song is one of my favorites. It is A Bully by Shinedown.
It's 8 a.m. This LR man seems I've crossed the line again. there's more of us, we're everywhere. We don't have to take this back against the wall. We don't have to take this, we can end it all. All you'll ever be is a fading memory of a bully. Make another joke while they hang another rope so lonely. Push them to the dirt till the words don't hurt. Can you hear me? And no one's gonna cry on the very day you die. You're a bully. Think it through. You cannot do. Whenever I see black and blue, I feel the past, I share the bruise with everyone who's come and gone. My head is clear, my voice is strong. Now I'm right here to right the wrong. We don't have to take this back against the wall. We don't have to take this, we can end it all. All you'll ever be is a fading memory of a bully. Make another joke while they hang another rope so lonely. Push them to the dirt till the words don't hurt. Can you hear me? And no one's gonna cry on the very day you die. You're a bully. It's 8 a.m. The hell I'm in. Your voice is strong. Now right the wrong. All you'll ever be is a fading memory of a bully. Make another joke while they hang another rope so lonely. Push them to the dirt till the words don't hurt. Can you hear me? And no one's gonna cry on the very day you die. You're a bully. All you'll ever be is a fading memory of a bully. Make another joke while they hang another rope so lonely. Push them to the dirt till the words don't hurt. Can you hear me? And no one's gonna cry on the very day you die. You're a bully.
Why are you still here with me? Didn't you see what I've done? In my shame I want to run and hide myself, yeah. But it's here I see the truth. I don't deserve you, but I need you to love me. And I won't keep my
That was I Need You to Love Me by Barlow Girl. That was a remix, too, in case you thought it sounded different and if you've heard the song. All right, anyways, my thoughts keep rambling. Now it is time for your nerd news today. This week's headlines are Google buys a company called Nest. They make thermometers, or thermostats. So for $3.2 billion, Google has bought a thermostat and smoke detector company. I wonder what kind of doomsday device they want to make with all those smoke detectors and thermostats. I guess we'll find out when the world is coming to an end. All right. Also, if you have not heard yet, the late Paul Walker was in Need for Speed 7, but of course he cannot film anymore. So the director is going to use body doubles and CGI to finish his scenes. I think they're going to do that for the Hunger Games as well. I'm not quite sure. I don't really pay attention to that. But all right. There is a trailer for the new X-Men movie, Days of Future Past. The past is in the future, and the behind is, you put your behind in your past. I don't know. Days of Futures Past. All right. This is now on the internet, so go check it out if you want to. Also, apparently the next Assassin's Creed has been leaked, or so they say. I really don't believe these leaks sometimes. It could be fake or the company did it themselves. Don't know, but it apparently is supposed to take place in the French Revolutions. One of them. And that's it for your nerdy news. Stay tuned for a little bit more music and my final thoughts or words of wisdoms and whatnot. And the next song is Soldiers by Otherwise, because it was apparently popular last week. Or my last show, not last week. The week before last, that was my show. So, play that and I'll be back with my final thoughts. Well, after maybe one other song. So, thank you and here we go.
It's time to strap our boots on. This is a perfect day to die. Wipe the blood out of our eyes. In this life there's no surrender, and there's nothing left for us to do. Find the strength to see this through. With
Again, that was Otherwise and Soldiers, and I will try not to play that song every show. I only put that in there because, to be honest, I had a little technical spiff with some of the music I actually wanted to put on there. But no, it's good. I never get tired of that song. And if that song doesn't get you to go out, doesn't make you want to go do something for your community, well, maybe something, I don't know. Anyways, all right. On to my final thoughts. Okay. The words of wisdom. Don't procrastinate, because when you do, you blame something. And then that something is not to be blamed for your actions. So if you sit there and watch TV all the time and that's procrastinating, from doing a report or whatever, you're going to blame the TV, and it's not the TV's fault. The TV cannot turn itself on unless you have a TV that can do that. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably the only excuse. Oh, my TV turned itself on. Oh, really? All right. Well, thank you for listening. My show will be changing the time slot from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The reason is so I can get guests more easily, and because I will have 2 people actually. I actually found 2 people to help me with this. So you can expect a new and improved show on Thursdays at 3 p.m. And as always, I will, not always, this will be the first time, I'm going to try and upload a podcast to my YouTube channel, which you can listen to it there unless I can find some other way, because it's a little expensive to go anywhere else, really. So yeah, you'll get to know them next time when they come by. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have people to be, and I have places to see, and I will leave you with Gladys and her marvelous singing voice. By Gladys, I mean the supercomputer from Portal, who a little crazy. And so until next Thursday at 3 p.m., you will hear me then. I bid you adieu.
Well, here we are again. It's always such a pleasure. Remember when you tried to kill me twice? Oh, how we laughed and laughed. Except I wasn't laughing. Under the circumstances, I've been shockingly nice. You want your freedom, take it. That's what I'm counting on. I used to want you dead, but now I only want you gone. She was a lot like you, maybe not quite as heavy. Now little Carolyn is in you too. One day they woke me up so I could live forever. It's such a shame the same will never happen to you. You got your short set life left. That's what I'm counting on. I'll let you get right to it. Now I only want you gone. Goodbye, my only friend. Oh, did you think I meant you? That would be funny if it weren't so sad. Well, you have been replaced. I don't need anyone now. When I delete you,